SVG Cuts here with some brand new projects for Christmas, winter, and beyond. I have some really fun, like a wide variety of projects. If you saw my first Facebook Live video about a month ago, I talked about some ideas that I had, and these two really were some of my favorite project ideas that I came up with, and I'm really excited about them. So you'll see here in just a minute how surprisingly pretty easy this is to put together, and it's a lot of fun, looks really cool, it's a real wow factor, and I think it would also be really nice for other seasons as well. It kind of has like a Parisian theme, or you could make it for winter, Halloween, fall, really whatever kind of spin you would like to put on it, I think is going to be super cool. So I also had a good time coming up with these. I was trying to think of one more idea. I had everything else done. I was like, what else should I make? And I've got quite a few nieces and nephews. A lot of them are teenagers, and the best gift for me to get them is a gift card, because it's so hard to keep up with what they're into, what they don't have, and what they want and all that. So I always like to get them a gift card, and this time I thought, wouldn't that be cool if I had a pretty simple, straightforward box card that you can put a gift card in, and give it a different spin if you want to make it for a birthday, different colors, whatever, what have you. So hopefully that comes in handy for you. And I also have our fun little vintage truck, and surprisingly, I think this might be everyone's favorite. This has been getting a lot of likes on Instagram. I don't think I've ever gotten this many likes on Instagram as I've gotten on this little card. So I'm glad that you guys like it so much. And Katie Smiley, this one's for you. She's been saying I should make a vintage truck for a while, and I still want to come up with a big full-sized one, but for now we've got our cute little box card. It's like a little appetizer before the big truck that I will make someday soon. So we also have a cool marquee sign, and it uses the same lights, light string and bulb caps from American Crafts. It gives more details about exactly what lights they are on the website, and in your PDF if you downloaded this project. So I originally was going to use colored lights, which also looks really cute, but to stick with this theme, I went with the plain clear bulbs. So this is very similar to some other marquee signs that we have, like the sports ones and the Easter Bunny, the pumpkin. So that's a lot of fun, and surprisingly pretty quick also. So this is kind of something new and different. I've never really made something like this dimensional candy cane on this gift box before. So I think that's super cool, and I have the second one that I made. I'm going to give my dad his Christmas gift in that. I think he'll really like it a lot. And that does it. The paper that I used this time is from Authentique, and it's called Retro Christmas. But of course, like I always say, whatever kind of paper you have in mind that you want to use is of course going to look awesome. So I've got all my pieces cut out to show you how these projects go together, so let's get started. For our candy cane gift box, I'm going to go ahead and put together the candy cane itself, which is made up of this main piece and then these three smaller pieces. So everywhere that there is a score line, I went ahead and folded it over, even these really small, this little small triangle here and this small one here, as well as all over this guy. And so the first thing we want to do is glue our white piece into place. And this looks cool if it's just plain white paper, of course, or if you've got glitter paper, that looks really nice. I think any kind of specialty shiny paper like this, I think just adds a little bit to the finished candy cane. Next, we can fold around some of these pieces. I'm going to start with this one here, and this is just going to fold around and get glued right behind. And as you can see, there's a four-sided diamond shape that is a little guideline to help you see where this gets glued. So it just wraps around, and you can line those two up and glue it down. Next, for the bottom, you can put a little glue on this small triangle and bend that over and glue it down. And then the rest of the bottom just bends over and gets glued down right here. For the top of the candy cane, this piece gets a little glue right on that small triangle, and bend it over and glue that down. Next, I'm taking this piece with the 3 dots cut out of it and the square, and I'm putting some glue on the inside where those 3 circles are cut out, and that is going to get glued right on top of the 3 circles on the back side. Then we can put some glue inside where that square is, bend that around, line up the 2 squares, glue that down, and glue down the tab next to it too. Next, I've got this piece with the 2 triangles and the 2 teardrop shapes, and on the inside of those 2 triangles I'll put some glue, and this gets glued right where those 2 triangles are on the back side. Then put some glue on the underside of the other 2 tabs, line up the 2 teardrops with the other 2 teardrops on the back of the candy cane, and glue down the tab next to it also. Finally, for the remaining piece, I'll put some glue on the inside by those 2 circles cut out of those small tabs, and this will get lined up with the circles on the back of the candy cane also. Then you can put some glue on the inside of the final 2 tabs and line up that single teardrop with the one on the back of the candy cane and glue down the tab next to it also. Next, I've got the 4 sides of my lid here as well as my lid panels, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these down like this. Now the lid of our box is starting to take shape, and you want it to be folded like this on the top so that these inner tabs are folded up and the rest of them are folded down. And then we just want to put glue on these small corner tabs and glue the corners into place like this. So let's set this aside for a minute and glue together these 3 pieces. So I'm going to glue this green one, in my case it's green, onto this other piece so that the stars are lined up. Then you can cover the back of your candy cane with glue and glue that right down onto the front. You will probably need to hold it for a few extra seconds as it takes hold and dries. Finally, for the lid, you can cover all 4 of these tabs with glue and place your rectangle right on top like this. As it starts to take hold, you can flip it over and kind of make sure that those tabs are flat and pushed down onto the paper. Now for the bottom of our box, I've got the 4 sides here, and we want to glue them together side to side, going long, short, long, short. Then I'm going to put some glue on this last side tab and close it up. Next, I'll take this liner piece and glue that into the bottom by flipping it over and covering the outer edges with a line of glue. And if you would like to protect your work surface, you can, because you might get some glue on your tabletop when you flip it over and put that right down on the inside. Then you can flip your box over, cover it with glue, and put the bottom into place to finish it up. For the gift card box card, I've got the pieces laid out here, and it is mainly these 2 pieces with a panel on both sides, which I embossed, and you could cut that out of patterned paper, of course, if you want. I thought it looked really nice when it was just the same color but embossed.
And then we've got the insert itself, which holds a standard size gift card, and you could, if you want, you could put it through these two corners or those two corners or all four. And then we've got the little bow here, which is 3 pieces, and I've got my brad ready to put that together. So first I'm going to glue this label into place on the back, and my card is vanilla colored paper, so I could have probably just stamped right on it, but it looks nice to have it like this. And of course, if your card is a darker color, you would not really be able to stamp on it, so hence the label. Next, we can put some glue on the side tab of one of these pieces and just glue one right to the other. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my little bow together, and to do that I'll take my brad, put it through this little donut shape, put it through the middle of this piece, and bend around both sides, and then put the brad through this piece, and then I'm going to take these and kind of bend them towards myself before I put it through this hole in the box card itself and open up the brad like so. So when you go to put it in your envelope, if you want to you can kind of flatten it out without creasing it, and it should fit in the envelope. Of course, if you're going to mail it, it may end up getting creased, but it's still kind of dimensional yet flat enough to get inside the envelope. So normally for a box card, I would go ahead and close this up, and then I would glue this inside, but since this is such a large insert, and just because it's just another way of doing it, I'm going to glue this inside first like this. So that the gift card is showing through the window on the back, like so. So it's just glued right in the middle, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. So there we go, it's nicely centered right in the middle there, and now we can close it up with some glue on this side tab. And before it's completely dry, we can fold it both ways gently to make sure it'll fold flat. And then for our envelope, it looks like this. This pointy flap is the top flap. So we can go ahead and put some glue on the side tabs, as well as maybe just a little bit up here, and fold that closed. Then with your card folded flat, it fits right inside, so you can give it, and it pops out with some nice dimension. Next, for our gingerbread house marquee sign, if you would like to take a look at your PDF, either if you print it out or you look at it on your computer or tablet, you can see the placing for the icing placement, if that helps you. You can of course do yours a little bit differently if you'd like, but that's how I did mine. So we've got 2 pieces that look like this. They're the same. One's the front and the other's the back. So grab one of those, and first we want to glue this piece into place right on the front. And then I've got 2 pieces that look like this, and I went ahead and put the icing on both of them. So I'll go ahead and glue those right onto the front also. And next I want to glue some more icing and some windows on, but first I want to put this down. You can glue it down, but I'm going to use some pop dots behind it to make it dimensional and make it sticking out. But in order to help me place my windows, I'm going to just lay that down so that I can see where I can center my 2 windows. So I'll glue them down with some glue in the middle part of them, and glue that down right here. So you kind of want the top of this shutter to line up with the top corner of your door. And then I'll go ahead and glue my other icing pieces down. And again, if you want to do yours a little differently, you can. I'm going to do mine like I did before, just like this on both sides. Then again, I'm not gluing this down just yet. You can if you want, but I want to use pop dots. So I'm going to wait. I'm also going to position my door without gluing it down, just so I can see where I want to put this little guy. Same goes for the front of this. I'm just going to lay this here as a guideline so I can put this icing on both sides. I'll go ahead and put some pop dots. These are actually Zots by Thermoweb, which I use quite a bit for my projects when I want to add some dimension. So I'll put 3 of them on the back of my little wreath and center that on the top of my doorway. And then I'll glue the final 2 pieces of icing up above the doorway. Next, I've got 2 sets of sides that look like this. They're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and your machine will have cut this number into your shape. I went ahead and darkened it in with a marker so that you could see it in this video. So on piece number 3, we want this part to be folded like this, and the rest of them just like so. So what you're going to do is put some glue on the underside of the side tab on piece number 1 and fold that over onto piece number 2. And I'm going to work my way around doing the same thing for all of the side tabs. I just glued piece number 4 onto piece number 5, so I'll finish it up by doing the same thing again and gluing piece number 5 back around onto piece number 1 where we started. Now I can flip the whole thing over and set it down on my work surface. If you want to protect your work surface, you can do that because you might get a little bit of glue on it. And what we're going to do is glue this piece right inside like this. So I'm going to start by putting some glue on the bottom tab. And I'll glue the front of my gingerbread house right inside onto that bottom tab. Then I can go ahead and put glue on the rest of the tabs and lay my project, the front of my project down inside, making sure that that top part is nice and snug up there. Then I've got some Zots on the back of my doorway because I want to add some dimension, and I'll just center that right on the front. And I've got some on the back of my little door too. So I went ahead and did the same exact thing with the back. It's the same thing, it just looks a little bit different here because there's these 3 panels instead of the icing and all the decorations. But the sides go together the same way, and our little battery pack holder gets glued together like this with some glue on the side tab. And then put some glue on these 3 tabs on the bottom and bend the bottom up into place. Then you can cover the back side of your battery pack holder with glue and glue that right into this little empty space on the back. Next, flip this over and cover the whole back side with glue, going out to the edges. And then take the other half and set that right on top, centering it nicely. You'll want to let this sit and dry for a little bit of extra time. If you would like, you can put a pad or 2 of paper on top of it to press it together gently as it dries without crushing it. While I wait for that to dry, I've got my sides here, and these make up the top. Then there are 3 larger rectangles. 2 of them are the same size. One of them's a bit larger. It's the bottom. We'll set that aside. And we can go ahead and glue our little panels into place. So I've got some patterned ones for the top there, and 2 like this, as well as 2 here. So go ahead and glue those into place. Now we can glue our sides onto our project. So to do that, I just want to glue them all the way around like this. So I will put some glue on the top, and then I want to center this right on top. And the sides of it stick out ever so slightly. So here and here it sticks out from the edge just a little bit, and just glue that right down. So I'll just work my way around, gluing the sides into place and finishing it off. And finally, I'll glue the bottom side piece into place the same way. Next, I'll go ahead and take my bulb caps and my lights and put the bulb caps in the front of my project. So for my original one, they were clear bulb caps. Since these are colored, I'll do my best to evenly, distribute the colors, and you just want to go ahead and put them in the hole. So if you're having a hard time getting it in, just kind of gently twist it while you push it down into place. And I've got all my bulb caps in place on the front, so I'll flip it over and put my lights into place. So with my battery pack in the little holder, I'll just work my way around, inserting each light into each bulb cap all the way around. So I've got my string of lights all in place, and I turned it on, and it's super cute. Now for our lamp post, we have 6 pieces that look like this, and you want to fold all the scored parts over. So on the side, all these tabs get folded over, and down here you want it folded like this, as well as like this up here. Then I went ahead and glued my shiny panels onto all 6 of those pieces. So what we want to do is put some glue on the side tabs of one of the pieces, and all 6 of these particular ones are the same. So I want to put some glue on all these tabs going all the way up, and then glue one right to the other. So you just want to take your time a little bit, line it up nicely, and give it some time to dry a little bit before you move on to the next piece. And if you don't feel comfortable working this quickly up the seam, you could do one tab at a time and put the glue on from the inside. So again, just work your way up the top, up to the top, gluing each tab right into place. So go ahead and glue all 6 of them together just like that. So I've got all 6 of them glued together, and I'm just closing up the seam here with some glue down the side, just like I did before, but I'm kind of running out of room to work with. It makes it a little bit trickier, but if you take your time, you can get it. So actually up at the top, I didn't even put glue on this top tab because this one and this one kind of hold it into place. This one's barely glued. So on this final seam, if you want to skip those tabs too, if that makes it easier for you, you can do that. Next, I've got these 2 long strips, and I went ahead and glued these little panels. There's 6 of each on each one. And then you can put some glue on the side of each and bend it around to close it up. Then to put these in place, you just want to, I don't even have any glue on it, it's just nice and like a snug fit. You just kind of wiggle that right onto the top, as well as this other ring that goes farther down. So you could certainly try to glue that in place if you would like to do that, but it's a nice snug fit and your lamp's not really going to be getting enough wear and tear where it would really need to be glued down, I don't think. Next I've got this piece that looks like this, and I went ahead and started gluing some of these panels onto it. There are 6 sides and 4 of them look like this, just long rectangles, and I went ahead and embossed mine using it's a folder called Stripes, I believe by SVG. It says in your PDF and also on the SVG Cuts website, just because I thought that looked cool to make it that kind of a texture. So we've got 2 like medium-sized rectangles. Those go below the square cutout on this piece, and there's 2 small ones that go above the 2 square holes. There are also 2 pieces that look like this, and 2 of these tabs are actually scored twice. And what you want to do is put glue on the side tab here and bend this around, and then put some glue on these small triangular shaped tabs and fold this little square end over. So there's another one that looks just like it. Go ahead and make it the same way, and then what you want to do is just feed it through with, there are these 2 tabs, this one and this one are scored twice. You want those on the sides when you feed it through this little hole, and then you can glue those tabs down. Now I can go ahead and put some glue on the side tab of this piece and fold it around into place, gluing that onto the other end. Next you can put some glue on each of these bottom tabs on the top of your lantern and kind of press them inwards a little bit so that you can feed it into the top of the piece that we just made. And then from the inside, you can press those tabs down as they dry, making sure that each one is taking hold inside. Next you've got 6 pieces that look like this, and we're going to glue them together side to side with some glue on both side tabs and glue them together side to side, 1 tab at a time. Now I've got all 6 sides glued together, and I'm just closing up that seam, and mine already has some embossed panels on it, which I'll get to here in just a moment. Yours probably does not. And now that I've got all 6 sides together, I can put my panels into place. So I've got 6 that look like this. I went ahead and ran them through my embossing machine, and I'll just glue each one onto all 6 sides. Next we can put some glue on all 6 of these little tabs at the bottom of this piece, and then feed that through, and from the inside press down and hold each of those tabs as it dries and goes into place, and each one takes hold. Next I've got 6 pieces that look like this. 5 of them are the same, but one of them has a cutout in the bottom here. So we've got, they're all folded this way, except here it's folded towards you as well as up at the top there. So we just want to glue each of them together side to side until we've got all 6 glued together side to side. So once again, just take it 1 tab at a time, especially that bottom one. Give it a little extra time to dry. Line everything up nicely as you work your way up one at a time to the top. Now we've got 6 panels that look like this. One of them looks like that, the other 5 are like this. I went ahead and ran them through my embossing machine. I did some stripes on the top, and then I did a strip of flowers around the middle bottom part. You can of course do yours however you would like, and maybe check out some pictures of lampposts on Google, or just whatever strikes your fancy, in order to, if you want some inspiration for picking out your embossing folder. Or not, you could use patterned paper or shiny paper. Then finally we've got this piece, which is a support piece, and there are 2 small 6-sided pieces. This is what the electric candle is going to sit on. So I've got some glue on that side tab, and we'll just fold it around, glue it together, and then put some glue on all of these tabs and glue that bottom right into place. Then you can flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Next, you want to take your electric candle with the bulb removed and feed it up so that the cord is flat inside, and kind of bend the rest of it out of the way. And then we're going to glue our bottom into place just like this. So you'll just want to carefully start with these 2 tabs, put some glue on them, and glue the bottom into place, lining up those corners. And take your time and glue the rest of the bottom into place using those tabs. So to do that, I'll put some glue on each of them, getting pretty close to the edge and pretty close to the corners, and fold that over, line it up nicely, and glue that down. Next, with our cord still nice and flat and our candle out of the way, the cord's just going out the back, we're going to glue this inside with some glue all over the bottom. And you just want to center it right in the bottom and make sure it's nice and dry, and that cord is just going flatly out the back. Then for some extra support, if you've got a hot glue gun, go ahead and load up the top of that with a nice big blob of hot glue and center your candle right on top of that support piece. Again, with that cord just going right out the back. Next, you can take the top part of your lantern and just carefully, forcefully yet carefully, kind of twist it onto your candle, and then put it on sort of like a lid onto a box. So it's going to slide right over that top little lip of the bottom and slide right into place. Then you can go ahead and put your bulb in through one of the sides and just carefully twist that down into place in the candle. Next, for the optional greenery, if you want to do this, you can. You could leave it off or do something different or just put a bow on it. But here's what I did. There's these 2 that look like this, and I took some scissors and I just cut each one of these into 3 or 4 smaller strips until it looked like this. Then I took a pencil, which I don't happen to have by me, but you get the idea, or you could just roll it up. So I rolled it up, and then I put a dot of glue here and kind of messed it up a little bit. I did that to this one too. And then for the 3 poinsettias, I put a little sparkly embellishment in the middle. I rubbed a brown ink pad on the edge of each petal, and then I pinched each one, and then I glued them together like this. And then however you want to arrange it on yours, you can. You can do it like this with the 2 flowers in the back. This is glued on with 2 flowers. This and the 2 wreaths on top of each other with 1 more flower and a bow. That's what I did, but you can certainly do yours a little differently if you would like to. For the vintage truck box card, as you can see in your PDF, which you can either print out or you can look at it on your computer or on your iPad if you have one, or tablet, it's got the front, the sides and the back, and the insert here. So you can use that as a reference to see where these pieces go. And I went ahead and started putting some of them together. So here's this main piece. I put this panel on the back here, and I went ahead and stamped my little sentiment on this label. So then you can go ahead and glue your 2 bumpers into place where it shows, one on the bottom of each of these sides, as well as the 2 of the larger circles. So there are 4 circles that are this size. 2 of them go on the tires, which we'll get to in a minute, and the other 2 go up here on the front above the little bumper. And then the other bumper is the same size as the other one. And then these 2 smaller circles go on the back for the little tail lights, along with this piece for the license plate with this little guy on top of it. So you can go ahead and also put some bling on top of those parts if you want. I put some little red bling on the back and clear on the front. So go ahead and glue those into place. Next, for the front of the card, you can see the little door here. It has a fold on the side, and then we want to stack up these circles. So I've got the shiny one on top of the red one, on top of the black one, on top of the white one here. So what we want to do is glue that little stack right in the center of this black piece on both sides, and then we can glue this piece right onto the front like this, and then we can glue our little fenders on top. And it helps make it look even cuter, I think, if you ink the edges of these pieces in particular. So by that I just mean rubbing an ink pad around the edge of the shape, just kind of defines it a little bit more. And then you can put some glue on this little wood railing piece and glue that right onto the front also. Next, for the insert, you can bend the 2 tabs on the sides over, and then I'm just going to layer these tree pieces up. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. If you have some small dimensional glue dots, that would look cute to kind of add some dimension to it. Or you can just glue one right on top of the other. And you could cut them all out of the same green, but it looks cute too if you do 3 different greens. Kind of differentiates the shapes a little bit more. And then I'll just glue this right onto the insert there. Next, we can put some glue on this side tab here and glue that right into place. And I'll do the same thing with this tab on the other side. And I'll just check and make sure it folds flat both ways, and it does. So then I can put some glue on these 2 side tabs and put this insert into place so that the back of the tab is flush with the back of the box and the top is pretty much flush with the the top there, and then before it's completely dry, just do a little check, make sure it'll fold flat both ways, and it does. So then for the envelope, it's going to go like this. So this pointy tab is actually the bottom flap. These two are the sides. So we can put some glue down here, a little bit here and here, and fold that up. And then you can insert your card like this and close it up.
So there you have it, really fun projects for Christmas, winter, and beyond. I hope you have a great time making them, and if you do, you'll have to share a picture on our Facebook wall, on Instagram, or on your blog, pin it on Pinterest, however you like to share. I always love to see, and so do the rest of our crafty friends. So thanks for watching, I'll catch you next time, and happy crafting!